Hey everyone, this is the Emerald here, and today we're going to be doing a Honkai Star Rail version 2.0 tier list in response to the 2.1 live stream confirmation that we got a couple hours ago. I've always wanted to do one of these for a while, mainly because of the fact that I feel like ranking these characters is pretty enjoyable overall, I think. It's also nice to see how characters fluctuate over the course of this game. So we'll go straight into this, no dilly-dallying. We're going to be ranking them first based off specific roles, because if we try to rank them up all objectively speaking, then some characters will be much higher than others, and it's going to be really hard to compare. So overall, we're going to be trying to do that. We're also going, since this tier list I'm using doesn't have like different icons for the physical and fire trailblazer, I'm going to be using Caelus as the physical, and I'm going to be using Stelle as the fire trailblazer. So we're going to get into this. So first off, we're going to go start with the free characters of the trailblazer: March, Gangheng, Asta, Herta, Serval, Natasha, and I think that's it. I don't think Pella was free in the story. So let's start off with physical trailblazer. Off the bat, I think this is a really 4 DPS in the game. I'll probably put him C for now, which is the baseline, but you easily replace this character over the course of playing this game, so he's not relevant too much, so we'll come back to that. Fire Trailblazer, on the other hand, is a much better long-term character for free-to-plays, because she is a preservation character, which isn't exactly easy to come around by. So we're going to put her in B. I think the Fire Trailblazer is a little better overall. It has much more usage, but does get replaced just as easily as the physical Trailblazer. March 7th is again a preservation character, really good at the very beginning of the game, and she does have a chance to freeze on ultimate, which is really nice. Her biggest problem though, I think, is if you want real value out of her, you do need to get Eidolons for her. It's not nearly as hard as Genjin because she's actually on banners with raid ups, which is good, but I think overall she's too reliant on some of those Eidolons, and the chance to freeze normally is kind of low. It does increase with a trace, but I'm not a big fan of it too much. Overall, she's not a bad character, so we'll put her on the same tier as Fire Trailblazer. Gangheng is again one of those characters that gets easily replaced by other DPS characters. He used to be much better, at least in the B range, because there was not many other wind DPSs, but now with the introduction of Black Swan and already Blade, he gets knocked down to about C. I think he's a little better than the physical Trailblazer though, so yeah, so we'll have it there. Arlen, again, one of those characters that just is not good. I probably put it here. He siphons his own HP, and while it is neat, I don't think it's all that great in long term, because a lot of enemies can do a lot of damage AoE wise, and as of right now there's no good protection characters that can keep it, like with like a AoE shield that's good enough to keep you alive. So that's why I put him in D. He also doesn't do that much damage overall. Asta is probably going to be your first A rank. Her ultimate is just way too valuable. It literally gives you speed, and she gives attack, and she supports with attack for each stack, which is really strong. You can also give her some defense to give her some more survivability, but the speed ultimate is really strong. It gives just a flat speed boost, which is really big. So yep, she goes to A, really good character. Herta. Now, had you asked me what I think of Herta before Pure Fiction came out, I would have put her here in D. But now with the introduction of Pure Fiction, I think she gets knocked up to about like a low B. She becomes really strong in Pure Fiction. The only problem is that's like her only real like usage case. Everywhere else she's not that great. But really good Pure Fiction. If you don't have her worked on, I would say work on her for Pure Fiction. She can help you a lot with how many enemies show up. Serval is another one of those enemies or characters that got a little better with Pure Fiction, but not much better overall, mainly because of she's an erudition character with like dot properties, which is not exactly the greatest in the world. So We'll have to see how that goes for the character. Hopefully later on we'll get more good erudition like codes that work well for her. But as it stands right now, she gets the solid C. Natasha, the first healer you get in the game, and probably the worst healer we have. Okay, inarguably the worst healer we have in the game right now. She gets heavily replaced by Lynx, who you get for free later down the line. So I don't think her cases are great. Do I put her at a D or a C? I'm gonna put her C, because at the very least you can use her for a while before you get another healer. So we'll put her here. Hella. Okay, this is the first. This is a really strong character. I'm gonna say I have to put her either here in high A or S. I'm gonna say high A for now. She's super strong. She can, her ultimate defense lowers. You can remove buffs with a skill. You can give ice resistance reduction, which is really good for ice DPSs like Jingliao. Really strong character overall. For a 4-star, and her Eidolons make her just much stronger. So really good character. So yeah, Sampo. This is a character that got better over time because he is a character that solely bases off Dot, which was, when he first came out, was not strong, but with the introduction of Kafka made it much stronger. So I say he is a solid B. Probably we'll put these guys in rankings later because I just want to put these guys up on the list right now. There's a lot of characters to go through. For now, we will probably most likely not be going through the 2.1 characters right now, only because their kits could change last second, though I doubt it, and that will be leaked. So I'll probably put that as a timestamp. At the very end of the saying, if you don't want leaks, don't look at this. But we'll come back to that in a second. Hook. Yeah, that's not a question. Really bad fire DPS. She's okay at the start of the game, but quickly gets replaced by many other characters. Yeah. Chingtra honestly got a lot better with Sparkle, but it's going from like a really bad DPS to like an okay DPS. So we'll put her right, I think, a little bit above Serval. Again, it's the biggest problem with her is she's too much of a gambling character, which is not the greatest. Like, look for her, because you're gonna be burning through skill points a lot with this character. And also, if you don't have E4, her damage severely goes down. So yeah. Ting Yun, I think, is still an S-rank character. Energy, damage increase, attack, all on one character. You can increase speed if you have some Eidolons. It's so good. It's such a great all-around character for a 4-star 2. Cannot complain. I have no complaints with the character. We just switch OSTs here really quickly. There we go. Alright. So, next character is Shushang. It's another one of those DPSs that falls off after some time, but I think Shushang has a higher placement in the overall tier list because she actually has a lot better usage. Physical does not have the greatest characters right now. The only good characters you can use him for breaking are Clara, who is very niche in some situations, and Argenti, who you probably don't have because outside Perfection he's not great. Shushang can help fill that role in for a hunt physical. As of right now, so she's pretty good. I'm gonna say she's better than Sampo. Yeah, because you can make her a hyper carry and she can honestly do a bit of work. She does fall off again. She does fall off, but overall, I think she's still a good character. Himiko, same placement as Herda. Really bad character before Perfection. Now a pretty decent character after Perfection. The problem is, again, just her only real usage is in Perfection. So hopefully we'll get to see more usages for some of these characters, but as of right now, they get a B. Well, honestly, he's fallen off a little bit, but I still think he's pretty good overall. I'm going to give him a high C right now. His speed lower is really strong overall, and he can make the enemy just nuts to turn, but he does burn through skill points. Well, I mean, okay, I didn't count for Sparkle, so I'd probably put him here. I'll put him here for now. He's a bit better with Sparkle because now he can actually use skill points and not have to be like crying over it. So yeah. Gepard, if you want to call them, really good tank overall. There are better preservation characters out there. We will be getting a new one soon, and I do think he's going to be like 5 times better. But as it stands right now, Gepard is still a really strong preservation character you can get from Standard Banner. If you don't have him, you don't have to cry over it, but he is a really good preservation character to keep you alive. His shield is really strong with ult, and he does have a revive to keep himself, gives him sustainability, which is really good. Overall, I think the biggest problem is just the freeze chance and the skill is a bit low, and it does require Eidolons to increase, which is not the greatest in the world. But overall, really good character, can't complain. Bronya, by far one of the best support characters in the entire game. Her skill action advances forward the unit you target like immediately next, so you can target any DPS and they'll immediately take their turn, which is really strong. Combine that with her ultimate, which increases attack and crit damage, and you make yourself for a really strong 5-star support. Now, obviously, there are more supports out in the game that do her job, that perform different things than she does, but for what she does, she's still really strong. Clara, I think she is like a B. The reason I say this is because I think the places she can be used in are slowly diminishing. MOC, she's like okay in some certain scenarios. Pure Fiction is probably where she's doing the most because enemies are constantly hitting people. So if you can keep that up, you can do a lot of damage. But without physical weakness, she's not doing a whole lot per se. So yeah, that's where I place her for now. We'll do sorting out later if I have to. But overall, I hope she gets like a good support character that like really works well with her, and other than Yukong. Yang Qing, possibly one of the worst DPS in the game, honestly. He sucks so much, bro. So I didn't talk about it, but in my Misha video, I was constantly thinking about Yang Qing and just seeing how much of a trash character he was. So his biggest problems are his follow tech chance is very low at low levels. And even at high levels it's still kind of low. He's a skill point heavy character. You have to keep using his skill to keep the buff up. And if you get hit by even the smallest breeze, you lose the buff and you have to use skill again. Which I do not like at all. And his damage is like okay at best. On top of that, I feel like his ultimate can be can hit a little bit harder, and just overall, I think the character is just a miss overall. Honestly, I hope he gets better. I really do, but as of right now, I think he's the worst 5-star DPS in the game. Yeah, that's about it. Bailu, really strong healer. There are better healers in the game, but for a 5-star healer, standard banner healer, really good. I have no complaints. I like her. I like her a lot. The only thing is, once you get a limited 5-star healer, you probably aren't using her unless you are desperate for a healer. So, yeah. Stelle. To me, I would say she's either high A or low S with the introduction of Sparkle. Sparkle boosted Mono Quantum's value up significantly, making them do much more damage and giving them skill points, which is something they kind of needed, especially with Chingcha here. Stelle is a really strong hunt character where if she kills a character, she immediately takes her next act. She immediately takes another action. They only do it once, but it does count for the ultimate too. So in theory, you could have 4 attacks in one given moment, where you use an attack, you ult, and then you have 4 attacks before the enemy does anything. Really strong character. Only thing that puts her away from S is just more content is leaning towards just like AoE, and Stelle is not that. But really strong character overall thanks to Sparkle. I think she's a solid A with Sparkle. Without her, she falls off in value significantly, but as of right now, she's a really strong character. We can say the same for Jing Yuan. With the introduction of Sparkle, Jing Yuan boosts up in value as well. I'll just put them here for now, just side by side. Jing Yuan boosts up immensely in value thanks to Sparkle because action advances the crit damage and more skill points, so he can skill more and add more to the follow-up attack, which is like where most of his damage is coming from. Again, still kind of is held back a little bit because of his lack of single target damage, funny enough. But still a really strong character overall. Thanks to Sparkle. Love how Sparkle boosted the version 2.0 support, boosted the version 1.0 DPSs, huh? So crazy. Silver Wolf, definitely S rank. I cannot see anything else. She adds a weakness on skill, which is stupid strong. Can deal with the enemy multiple times. Defense lower on ultimate. Overall, stupid strong character. I think her only biggest problem is her best light code isn't even her signature light code. It's the free-to-play light code before tutorial mission starts, which I find kind of funny, but still a really good character. Yukong, honestly, kind of a miss of a support character. We usually think support characters are like extremely goated, like some of the strongest in the game. But honestly, I think Yukong is just okay. Her biggest problem is the bowstrings goes for each ally turn. So only 2 allies are going to be able to take the attack, like the attack boost. And that requires a lot of speed tuning, right? Which is a lot more work than some other characters like Bronya, where you don't need any of that. You just boost and bam, done. It doesn't require nearly as much speed tuning than Yukong does. On top of that, it's not useful for some characters like, for example, like DHIL, who's taking 1 turn only and then calling it a day, right? It's more useful for like follow-up attack characters who's getting the buff, because remember, she buffs the entire team, but it goes away after 2 ally turns. So take that as you will. Characters who can follow-up attack or like to still take their turn even like on other characters' turns is like where her biggest value shot comes from. And follow-up attack is just not in a good spot right now. Hopefully it gets better, but as of right now, it's okay. So this is where I put her. If we get a good follow-up attack team, she might go up in value, but as of right now, she's a solid B. Luocha, really strong healer. I don't see why we should talk about this. He's just really strong. I think I put him in A though. His biggest problem is, like, without the field, his healing is kind of limiting, right? Because healing is 1 character only, which is okay, but the field where you do damage to heal back is really strong. Yeah, I think this is an okay place for now. Obviously, not right. These are not sorted. I'll sort them out maybe later. But as of right now, this is where I think I would put him. Not bad. Just I think he's just age. He's showing his age. He's showing his age. Blade. This is definitely one of those characters that have severely shown their age. I would say he's an A. He's still an okay DPS. No problems there, but he just doesn't do nearly as much damage to these enemies as like some other characters do. Plus, not many enemies are getting wind weakness, which is like a big deal for him because he wants to break. Which kind of sucks, but overall, just a destruction character who's shown age, like a lot of age. Luca, for how cool he is, I don't think he's all that great as he's chalked up to be, only because of the fact that like he's supposed to be bleed, but he uses a lot of skill points to keep that bleed going, and then you have to get all those stacks for him to do pretty okay damage. Like he's like too single target based for a dot character. Alright. The one thing he has is buff removal, but if you want buff removal, you might just use Pella and get like 3 times the value. So yeah, I think he's a C. Really cool character when he came out, but not the greatest overall, I think. Kafka, definitely an S. Stupid strong, makes dot like what it is. Love this character also, just in general. I personally love this character a lot. Dot has now become one of the best teams to run thanks to this character. And if we just get more dot characters overall, she just gets boosted up along with it. So yeah. DHIL, one of the strongest DPSs in the game, inarguably. I think he is the strongest, but people have their own opinions. DHIL is stupid strong. It just got better with Sparkle because now he can keep spamming his skill and be okay. Really strong character, still to this day, and I don't see him getting powered for a while unless enemies just start like stealing HP based on how many skill points you use. But if that happens, then Sparkle's probably fucked. But we'll see. Lynx is a better version of Natasha in most ways. When I say she's better than Bailu, that's a hard one. Bailu has a revive, but she has no debuff cleanse, which in this state in the game matters more heavily. That's a hard one, I think. I do think Bailu is a better healer, but I think Lynx is just the better option, if that makes any level sense. She does more healing over, like, in general, objectively speaking, but I think she has much more usability and versatility over Bailu, right? Plus with Fu Shuan, who we're ranking next, I don't think there's not much need for a revive when like just staying alive is not that hard. So I think Lynx is a pretty good character overall. Fair. She increases max HP of most allies, which for some characters can actually matter a lot. And claims debuff on ultimate, pretty good. I think it's a really good character. I think A is a pretty nice spot for her. Hushran, the best preservation character right now. She's so stupid broken. Her skill just reduce damage for the entire team, makes her take damage, and then she has 2 mini revives, which she can regain via ultimate. So strong, so busted. I don't get what happened, but hey, here we are. Strongest preservation character in the game, and it's gonna be really hard to top it. Jingliu, definitely also as she's in competition for best DPS in the game. She's again a really strong destruction character who can do loads of damage to her enemies. I think her only problem is just getting to that point, but once you get to that point, you are going to merge. So I think it's okay. Gwen Fun is actually a pretty good support character. She inflicts enemies with Fire Kiss, which increases the damage they take. And so therefore she can be used on just general DPS teams or dot. So she's pretty versatile in those teams. And overall, I think she's just a really strong character. Her only problem, I think, is just effect hit rate is a pretty big ask of her. But overall, still really strong. Topaz. This is one of those hunt characters that I was talking about. I'm gonna put her probably in B for now. This is not saying she's bad. It's objectively she's a good character, but she's missing out on a lot of follow-up attack characters that she needs. She needs these follow-up attack characters to like strive in this meta right now. So if we get more follow-up attack, if she gets more follow-up attack characters, she'll immediately rise up the ranks. She's more like Sampo. Sampo before was kind of mediocre, but with Kafka and Dot being introduced, he now becomes much better of an option. So Topaz, if she gets more follow-up attack characters, she'll immediately rise up in the ranks. Pohua, best heal in the game. I really don't think it's a competition. Stupid strong. She can heal up to 3 allies with her skill. Ultimate is an actual support, which gives attack and energy regen, which is stupid crazy, right? For a healer. Really strong character. Her only biggest problem is it's not her or anything. It's just she released at a really bad time. She released in like a dead patch, and then like the 2 characters were also dead patches. So everyone was like, "Oh, okay, this doesn't matter too much, right?" But as more characters come out that need energy and like really you need to fill in that role of a healer and the support, she's getting a lot more notice. So probably in a rerun, she's probably going to get a lot of money. I would assume so, because people are like, "Oh wow, she's actually a good character." Hanya, she is just one of those characters, man. She's just one of those characters. Hanya is just, when she released, she was really good, but I think she requires way too much speed for her own good, and it's not really as usable as like Asta, Hela, like Tingyun. Like these characters are just much better overall for your team than she is, right? She can give you a lot of speed, which can help for some characters, but if you want speed overall, just go with Asta. She buffs the entire team with like flat speed, and it's just much better overall. Argentine, I'm gonna put him in B. He's not a bad character, but he excels in pure fiction and is okay everywhere else. He can do well, I think. But until we get more like content that requires physical in general, he stays in the B range. Not a bad character, but he just needs more content, I think. Shui. This can be either the best 4-star DPS in the game or the worst 4-star DPS in the game, depending on how your situation. So we'll put her in B to like average it out. If you have Run Mei and have her at about E2 or E4, she becomes a really strong 4-star DPS. You don't have those, she becomes kind of worthless, I think. That's not the greatest in the world. Her follow-up attack is not like nearly as how you say like reliable, and her ultimate also like falls on value. If we get more characters that increase weakness break efficiency for the entire team, then she'll go up in value. But as of right now, I think she's just a solid B. Nothing crazy. She just needs a lot. She needs a lot to work with. But once she gets that rolling, she can do well. Rod May, go to support. I don't think this is a question. Go to support. Really strong. Like her a lot. She gives weakness break efficiency, and if the enemy's broken and try to come back, they get broken again. So it's just an additional no you, which is funny. And yeah, really good character. Like her a lot. Just no overall complaints. Ratio, a better version of Topaz, but again, we still need a couple more follow-up attack characters. He's a bit more sustainable in that his ultimate gives him 2 follow-up attacks when any ally attacks an enemy, which is really strong. And his follow-up attack hits really hard with debuffs, and he is free after all. So that probably boosts it a little bit, but overall, really good character. He just needs more follow-up attack characters, just like Topaz. But if we get one more, I think the team would be like pretty set. Misha, I made the video on him. He can be a strong DPS, but you need a lot of investment for him. If you do that though, I think he can do well. Actually, we'll give him the B. We'll give him B treatment. He is really good, but again, I think you need a lot of investment for this character to like really do well. And besides, you probably already have Jinglio, most likely, more often than like more likely than not, right? So Misha's value is not all that great. If we get content where it's a lot of enemies and they all have ice and they all get broken pretty efficiently, then yeah, he could be good. But without like Run Me or something, he's not that great. Black Swan, really strong character. I'm gonna put her next to Kafka, just because they work together well. Really strong character. Only problem with Black Swan as of right now is we could get another Buster version of her, like not of her specifically, but like another dot character that does a better version of Black Swan. She'll get replaced. But as of right now, she is really strong. So many ways of either ignoring or lowering defense on the enemy. And Arcana is probably the dumbest thing in the entire game, honestly. Arcana as a just like a dot is so stupid. Sparkle, inarguably, I think, the best support in the game. You get up to like 8 skill points without Eidolons. And you get increased damage, boosts up like 5 to 6 different teams. She's just so strong. Really strong character overall. Like it a lot. And yeah, my favorite character. Though she is under fire for what she does in the story, I won't say. But yeah. So this is where we do a little bit of sorting out here before we get into these characters. I'm gonna probably say this here. If you do not want to know what their kits are and want to wait for official release, this is where I'd say you should leave the video now. We're going to do a little bit of sorting here before we do that. Right here. We're going to do this. I'm going to put her up a little bit. Same with her. Yeah. Okay. I think this is okay for there. That's fine. We'll put you up a little bit. Put you up a little bit. I'm still sick. Sorry, guys. There we go. I think this is fine. I don't really care for C and D. Everyone here is trash equally. This is what I think of so far. These characters. So if you do not want these version 2.1 characters, here is my complete tier list of version 2.0 as it stands. If you have any if you have any if your own opinions, you can leave them down in the comments. Just remember, this is my own opinion. You can have your own opinion, and I will respect it. We will most likely differ because I have different thoughts on some of these characters, but again, if this is just my opinion, if you have any other different thoughts on this, then you may leave your comments down in the description or in the comment section. Yep, the description. Good job, me. And yeah, so with that out the way and the disclaimer already said, we'll get into the 2.1 characters. We'll start with Gallagher. Probably the second worst healer in the game, I think. I say this because his heal is a flat heal, which is not the worst in the world, I guess. But he gets cleanse on E2, which is just stupid. Why is it take up to E2 to cleanse? I don't get that. Like, either you cleanse or you don't cleanse. Like, I don't understand, like, why he does that. And he seems to be, like, a break effect healer, which is not convenient at all. Right? You need so much break effect for him to heal, like a decent amount, which is questionable. I don't get it. Hopefully gameplay will make him better. Like when we see him in action, he'll be better. But as it stands right now, he doesn't seem all that great. Let's do Acheron first. I think Acheron on release is definitely going to be up here with one of the best DPS in the game. But her biggest holdback is you really need E2. You can work well with it without E2. It's possible. But E2 is what gives you the option to do supports, right? Unless you have then this doesn't matter, right? She's too reliant on having two other Nihility characters with you, and since most Nihility is Dot, you're probably going to be running Pella and either Gwaylifon or Silver Wolf. So, and that takes up 3 slots, so you have to then use a healer or like Foosh Run or Full to keep yourself going. But if you have it rolling, she will absolutely kill people, like, easily, like, no questions asked. She just requires a lot of work to get to that point, but again, hopefully when like the version actually comes out, she's a lot better. I will be summoning for her, probably going for E0, maybe getting her light code. I don't know, because her light code is probably necessary for Nihil because it's only like one of the options. It's not free to play friendly, so we'll see how it goes. I hope she's better than what people say, or like from what I saw, but I think as of right now, she's definitely gonna be one of the better DPSs. But as time goes on, she'll lower in value, I think. Adventure, on the other hand, will be here, and he'll stay here for a long time. He is a preservation character with a really strong shield, and we'll have to see how strong the shield is. I'm gonna put all these below here. I think Sparkles is better overall, but put these two here. Adventure is gonna be a really strong preservation character by the looks of it. He seems to be a bit of a gambling side, but only on technique. I don't think anywhere else is like that much of like a big deal. And his shield seems really strong. On top of that, he's also like just an overall sub DPS, which is really good. So yeah, this is where I put them for 2.1. And this is the overall final tier list for 2.1 characters. We should be getting 2.2 drip marketing over the course of this week leading up to the live stream, so be ready for that. I'll probably be making a video on each character when they come out and what we can expect to see from them. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.